So now we get to disposing of accounts receivable. And disposing of accounts receivable does not mean we throw them out the window or get rid of them. These are an asset, we wouldn't want to do that. Basically, there's two different ways to do this. When we say dispose, we're really getting somebody else to assume the work and risk of collecting our accounts receivable. So we can do credit card sales. When we accept credit cards, we're in effect having somebody else collect we're having that national credit card company collect our accounts receivable for us. And they're not going to do that for, for free. So let's see how we do the journal entry. I'm using brief exercise 8.8 to work through this. And so we have Tony's Restaurant accepting a Visa card of $175 for a lunch bill. Okay, so we've got, the $175 lunch, and it says there's a 4% credit card fee, so a 4% fee. So how do we enter this? Well, we're going to enter it simply as cash, because the credit card company, the minute we process that, that transaction, is going to credit our account with cash, but it's not going to be the full amount. And then we're also going to book our sales revenue. The sales revenue would be easy, that's the $175. But then we're going to have a service charge expense, because they are going to charge us for all the work they're going to do, and it's 4%. So we would go the $175 times 4%, and we would come up with a $7 fee. They would credit our account with them for $168. So we just recognize cash of $168, service charge expense of $7, and we book the sales revenue. So that's having the credit card company collect our receivable there. Okay. The other way to dispose of our accounts receivable is called factoring. This is where we sell the actual, a whole bunch of our accounts receivable to a company called a factor. The factoring companies collect accounts receivable, and of course they're going to charge a fee. Our journal entry for doing this is a little bit different, and again I'm using brief exercise 8.8. This company sells its receivables. It has accounts receivable of $60,000. It's going to sell them outright to this company, and the company's going to charge them a fee of 3%. So notice the difference in the journal entry here. Because the journal entries tell the story of what's happened, and what's happened is we have sold the asset accounts receivable. Just like you'd sell an asset, a truck, you're selling the accounts receivable. So the accounts receivable are going to be the credit entry. They're coming right off the books. So we're going to have accounts receivable coming off the books for the full $60,000 that we sold to the credit card company. We sold to the factor, okay? We are going to receive some cash, okay? And there's going to be a service charge fee. Their fee is 3% times the $60,000, which would be $1,800, and we would receive a check for the $58,200. Okay, so with both of these, we're really having somebody else collect our accounts receivable, and we're getting the cash kind of up front here. And so the risks and efforts of doing all the collection work go to somebody else. Selling accounts receivable used to be regarded as a sign that a business was in trouble and needed cash right away. More recently, it's been viewed as a kind of a good cash management policy, because a lot of times these factoring companies, it may cost less for them to collect your receivables than it would for your company to do it in-house. Okay, so that's it for our disposing of accounts receivable.